everybody. I'm Frank Nicotero, and welcome to Punchlines. That's right. The punch is for the comedy, and we have plenty of it today. And lines, of course, is for the gambling lines, which we'll get to later with our second guest that will be in studio. Punchlines. Lines can also mean live in Nevada every show, because we are live right here behind me. You see the lovely sports book here at the South Point Casino in Las Vegas, Nevada. We're live. We do this every day, Monday through Friday at noon. We love the people that join us. We thank you for watching. Please hit that subscribe button. Share the link with your friends. I always post the shows on social media at Frank Nicotero. And we have live comments usually, right? Ryan, our producer. Ladies and gentlemen, let's introduce Ryan right now. There he is. Ryan, our producer. Again, another sharp suit-tie combination, Ryan. Welcome back. It is Monday. What a weekend in the NFL, which we'll talk about later with our guest coming up in about 35, 40 minutes. We have Chris Andrews, who is the sports director here at the South Point. Also from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, who's a friend of mine. We're from Pittsburgh. The Steelers had a rough weekend because all the AFC North teams won. So we didn't even play, and we kind of got screwed a little bit, but that's okay. Also today, I want to talk about, tomorrow, Chris Harrison from TV's The Bachelor, and also Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, where I worked with him right here in Vegas. Chris Harrison will be here, so we're excited to have Chris tomorrow. But I want to talk about the Olympics real quick, Ryan. They're coming to California. They're coming to Los Angeles in 2028. They announced today some events that have been added. I don't know if you saw this. Flag football.
All right.
That will be an Olympic event. Sean is very excited about that. One of our crew members. Flag football. I don't understand. Is this going to be retired pros? I mean,
it has to be amateurs, right?
How do we find the best flag football players in America? I know there's leagues. I know I played it in grade school, and I was very damn good at flag football because I was short and fast, and I could sneak in. But what's next? What are the next events? Are we getting tetherball in there? What other schoolyard games? Tetherball? Maybe hopscotch? I could see the Germans being good at hopscotch. And then tiddlywinks. I don't understand, but they added cricket, baseball, and softball are back, which I'm glad about. But flag football. And this is, by the way, a sport that if America doesn't win, it'll be an outrage, right? So if we don't win and then they do it again in the next Summer Olympics, do we use pro athletes? Do we have Pat Mahomes playing flag football? Because that's what the dream team was in basketball, right? We lost because we were using non-professional athletes. Do we bring in Mahomes and whoever? By the way, the only name I said was Patrick Mahomes because football, not for long. That's what the NFL stands for, not for long league. We don't know who will be around in 2032. That's a long time from now.
It's 2028, right?
Well, no, but
LA.
I mean, so if we lose, the following Olympics would be like 9 years from now.
Yep.
Who in the NFL is still going to be around? Running backs? Probably not. Mahomes, Justin Herbert. I mean, all you really need for flag football is a good quarterback and a couple quick guys.
Definitely speed.
So, and I'll be old, but I'm available if they want to go that route. I don't know if they do or not. But great show today. We have coming up in a few minutes. We have a local Vegas legend, Andy Martello, will be here. He's written books. He's done everything you can do in Vegas. And we're also going to find out about the only sports bet he's ever made. But first, let's get to Frank's Fast Takes. Roll the graphic.
Okay.
I thought there was going to be such a slide transition for me to take a drink of water from my South Point 400. There it is. Frank's Fast Takes. By the way, speaking of the South Point 400, I did put money on my man Joey Logano. Joey Logano, who was last year's winner, but he finished 11th. He finished 11th in the race. Did you watch any of the race, Ryan?
I was not able to.
You were not able to? What did you do this weekend? What were you doing on Sunday that you couldn't watch the South Point 400?
Relaxed and watch football.
Watch football. Who's your team again? The Bears. How'd the Bears do?
The Bears. Got embarrassed.
Yeah, and then Fields is hurt too, right?
That he is. He has a dislocated thumb.
Jeez.
So he's
okay.
doubtful
All right,
for next week.
Let's shift gears from football, which we'll talk with Chris Andrews coming up in about 25, 35 minutes. I want to talk about baseball. Mattress Mac attack, baby. There's this guy in Houston. You guys have probably heard of him, Mattress Mac. He places, there he is. He's just tosses money and tickets away. The guy bets the Astros. Now, he made his millions. He's worth $310 million. He made it in selling furniture. So next time you go to buy furniture, know that you can haggle because this guy has made $310 million upselling crappy furniture. But no, it's probably great furniture. But anyway, last year he won $30 million on the Astros when they won the World Series, which is just insane. He actually wheeled it out. And I'm not saying that he actually had a wheelbarrow and wheeled it out of Caesars. So this year, he made a preseason bet, and we love preseason bets. We love future bets. everywhere here in Vegas. South Point has great futures. But in Caesars, he put 1.9 million down on plus 600. Then in late September, when the Astros could miss the playoffs, he put another million on the Astros at plus 1,100. And then one more bet at Caesars for $2 million at plus 450. A total of $4.9 million on 3 bets and possible profit of like $31.4 million if the Astros win the World Series.
Well, so I think I've got a little more current
Please.
numbers. So last year he won a record $75 million.
$75 million.
$75 million.
On the Astros and other bets, yeah.
And this season, he had the preseason bet for 1.9
Right.
at plus 600. He had the bet in the middle of September for $2 million plus 600. He had a bet at the end of September for $1 million to win him $11 million.
1,100.
And then
right.
he had one before their division series for $2 million for plus 450. So he has $6.9 million in wagers.
Oh, it's 6.9. Jeez.
To win $43.4
$43 million. But the Astros have to win the World Series.
Yep.
If not, he loses about, $6 million.
Well, he does it to cover his mattress business.
He does. And what he's talking about, what Ryan's talking about is he does this thing where if the Astros win the World Series, you get the money you spent on his furniture. If you bought furniture at a store, you get your money back if the Astros win.
Completely.
So to offset that loss, he gambles in Vegas. And by
Awesome.
the way, the promotion this
Great
guy's
strategy.
store gets is amazing. So,
Awesome.
and listen, I want to say you guys are like, wow, he's just being frivolous and he just bets these stupid bets. It's a business move. It's very savvy. It's very smart. But I don't know if you heard, but Mary Lou Retton, who won the Olympic gold medal in 1984, who was on the cover of Sports Illustrated, that I cut out and put on my wall of Mary Lou Retton, perfect 10. She's in the hospital, currently on Dancing with the Stars, but she has a dangerous and rare type of pneumonia. She doesn't have any insurance, and her eldest daughter started a spot fund. She's raised $375,000 to help out Mary Lou, who is doing better. She's still in intensive care, but she's improving. But Mattress Mac gave the largest donation of $50,000. I thought that was very nice of him.
He's a great guy.
He's a great guy. And by the way, she's from Fairmont, West Virginia, I believe. And when I started stand-up way back when, I performed a show. I don't want to brag, ladies and gentlemen, about the big shows I've done. But yes, I performed at the Fairmont Coal Festival one year. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Fairmont Coal. If you can get that gig, comedians, up-and-comers, you want that gig. And there was a statue of Mary Lou Retton there. So she's a legend in West Virginia, all over the place. So that was nice that he did that. And Mattress Mac, yeah. So the Astros are down. They're down 1 to love to the Rangers. The Rangers, who are 6-0 in postseason, haven't lost a game yet. Look great. Evan Carter, I bet the prop bet. I got around town here. Over half base hit. He got a hit in his first at-bat. I was a winner in the second inning. But they call that the Silver Boot Series. The Silver Boot Series, which is Texas and Houston. And these guys, when they played in the regular season, the Astros and Rangers, it's 134 to 132 wins. I mean, that's as close as you can get, right? The Rangers have won 134, Astros 132. And there's all sorts of silly trophies that I want to talk about. Now, Saturday, college football, they're the king of these crazy ones, right? You got like the brass spittoon, but here's a couple right here. Now, right here in Nevada, right? We had UNLV in Nevada. What did they play for this past
The
weekend?
Fremont Cannon.
Look at that. The Fremont Cannon. UNLV defeated they defeated Nevada 45-27. So they now get to possess the cannon, right?
Yep.
How do they
get to paint it
stay
red
here? Because I don't know if Nevada wins. How do you get that back? Do you go to FedEx or TaskRabbit? Yeah, we need you to bring a cannon up to Reno. Can't do that. But congratulations. There's other silly trophies. Ryan, what else do you have for us? What's another one?
So we've got the Apple Cup.
Yeah, the Apple
which is
Cup is
between
the one
Washington
in
and
Washington.
Washington
That's
State.
Washington State. That's coming up November 25th. There it is. The Huskies right now, I got to feel, are going to be huge favorites in that game, if not favorites to win the national championship with Michael Penix right now. So there's the Apple Cup. Makes sense, right? State of Washington,
Yep.
Apple Cup.
And then one that
one-
was won this past weekend
Yeah.
between Iowa and Wisconsin is the Heartland Trophy.
The Heartland Trophy. Let's see that. So there it is. So it looks like it's a pig. I don't know. Is it looking for
bull.
truffles? What's it doing there? It's just kind of grazing at the ground.
Yeah.
Why is the pig's head down?
It's between Iowa and Wisconsin. So it's like the heartland of America, the fields, the meadows and everything. The bull's just grazing.
So the pig is more Wisconsin or Iowa?
I would guess more Iowa, but
Now, why did you say that? Oh, and our Iowa viewers are listening.
they won.
They won. Okay, because they won. They're piggish because they won. All right. So it got me to thinking these silly college trophies. I love them. The Pac-12 is no longer going to exist. So they have to play. a lot of these teams in the Pac-12 are going to the Big Ten, like Oregon. So it got me to thinking, in 2025, and Jeff Parles was talking about his beloved Rutgers are going to be playing Oregon for the first time in history of college football in 2025. So it's Oregon versus Rutgers. I have an idea. I have three. I have ideas for trophies for these upcoming rivalries. We got to start them now, right? Because some of these go like 100 years. So here's my idea for Oregon, which is known Pacific Northwest, and Rutgers. A lot of Italians. It's in Jersey. So here we go. Show it. This is what I came up with. Here we go. It's the lumberjack linguine plate, ladies and gentlemen, right there. It's a lumberjack eating a plate. And by the way, that linguine is from Olive Garden, because when you're here, you're family. So right there, I want this to be so someone at Oregon or someone at Rutgers. Jeff, if you know someone at Rutgers, that's the trophy I want for Oregon and Rutgers, the lumberjack linguine plate. What else did I come up with last night? Delirious. Let's see. Washington plays Wisconsin, right? Is that one? Yeah, sure. Coffee is big in Washington. And what do they know in Wisconsin? They're the Badgers. So there you go. That's the over-caffeinated Badger trophy. And by the way, Ryan, how did you generate these pictures?
AI.
So AI, ladies and gentlemen, is helping with today's show. They actually generated a lumberjack eating linguine and that. And last but not least, baby? Who am I talking about? Last but not least, baby. UCLA and Minnesota, we came up with the surfing gopher. There it is, the surfing gopher, California and Minnesota. I think that someone contact the sports information department at all the schools. These are trophies that I want to see. All right, last but not least, fast take before we bring our first of two live guests into the studio here at South Point. Caitlin Clark scores and Taylor Swift soars. Caitlin Clark of the University of Iowa had a triple-double yesterday in an exhibition game against DePaul, but that's not the real story, is it? No. 55,646 people packed the Iowa football stadium to watch. That's the largest crowd ever. Shatters an NCAA attendance record for women's basketball, which is great to see. So we were teasing Iowa before, but now we're praising you, Iowa. 55,646 people to watch her score 34 points. Interesting to note, the Iowa football team hasn't scored that many points in 3 seasons against a Big Ten opponent. So she outscored the football team in one day. And we got to talk about Taylor Swift quickly. Taylor, who was not at the game last night. A lot of people thought she was going to be at the Jets game in New York because Travis Kelce did a little cameo on Saturday Night Live, which was a very funny show, actually. By the way, Keenan Thompson did Deion Sanders on a Weekend Update piece. You can Google that, watch it here on YouTube. And Taylor Swift introduced Ice Spice. What's your favorite Ice Spice song, Ryan?
I couldn't even tell you any Ice Spice songs.
By the way, I heard 2 songs by her. Couldn't tell you the title. Didn't understand it. Get off my lawn. Anyway, Taylor was there to introduce her, but they didn't show up at the game. But speaking of numbers, now we talked about this. Her movie premiered over the weekend. Estimates were between 150 and 200 worldwide. So what did she do worldwide? It was the under. Did you take Taylor in the under? $123.5 million for her Eras Tour movie. And domestically, 92.8. And I want to point out that Vinny from Sports by the Book, he had the under. He said
he did have the under.
We had a lot of good.
His line was 161.
He shot it up high. It was high.
That one was still under.
We gotta crush the numbers on Taylor's next project a little better. But he took the under. But Vinny, you won. And by the way, speaking of results, Kenny White, who was here, his daughter Alex will be here tomorrow on the show live in studio. Kenny, who's also a legendary handicapper, he said if you can hit 51% in college football, that's a win. You keep winning, and he did, right? He went 4-3 over the weekend.
Yeah, he went 4-3 and had a push.
And he had a push. Yeah,
yep.
Right. So let's call that a win. Let's make him 5.
3 of his underdogs won outright.
3 of his underdogs won outright. What was it? It was like Texas Tech, Pitt. It was Pitt.
Yep, Pitt
over Louisville.
Northern Illinois.
Northern Illinois won.
And Colorado State.
Colorado State. Oh, by the way, did you see the Colorado State game?
Awesome.
They were down. Colorado State was down 30 to 10 with 4 minutes to go. Make it 30-17. Onside kick, they score 30-24. They're not going to get another onside kick. They get it, but they're offsides. So they have to do a third onside kick, get it, and score a touchdown on a Hail Mary to win 31-30. It was unbelievable. That was better. That was a better Hail Mary than the Houston game. It was unbelievable. All right, well, there you go. There were your fast takes, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get to our guest, who is live in studio and patiently waiting. He's been making us laugh the whole time already, and I'm like, dude, save it for the show. We're live. Do we have live comments? Are people ready for Andy? Any live comments before we bring Andy in?
Girl Genius definitely is.
What is she saying today?
She asked why the gopher had 2 surfboards, but that's because 4 legs. So 2 legs on one, 2 legs on the other.
So he was trying to catch Ryan there, yeah. Girl genius. Yeah, 2 surfboards because gophers have. Everyone knows gophers are going to ride 4 legs
Yeah,
down.
like a
Yeah.
pontoon
Gophers
boat.
can't ride a surfboard 2 legs. Come on, everyone knows that. All right, let's bring in our guest, ladies and gentlemen. We're excited to have him. Now, he is a longtime Vegas entertainer. He's an author of 4 books, which is super impressive. He's a Best of Las Vegas winner. And he's also an MC for the Las Vegas Aviators. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the studio. It's Andy Martello. Andy, very good.
Thank you, both of you. That was really kind.
Yeah, I know, exactly. And Martello, is that an Italian name?
It absolutely is, yes. So we'll get along fine just to keep, broken glass is going to happen. We're going to knock shit over.
Well, we only use plastic bottles. We have the South Point 400 bottles. I'm not allowed glass on set because
Probably
I
wise.
break everything. Yeah. So tell people about yourself, Andy. I just met you. We've already been laughing, having a good time. You're a Vegas legend that no one knows, apparently.
I'm the most famous, non-famous person in the world.
Okay,
If you go ahead and put my name into any search engine on the planet, I'm like a rash all over the internet. I'm basically, because I've done lots of things.
Let's hear about some of them.
Well, the pinnacle, of course, would be this show.
Right. Thank you
here,
for saying that.
by
It's
the way.
live and it'll be available.
Thank you for having me. I could tell it's going well when you've called me as your guest.
Andy, you're underselling yourself. You've done a lot.
All right. Pretty much I've been on stages off and on since I was 10 years old.
wow.
Started making money at it when I was 15, doing everything from stand-up comedy, juggling, fire eating,
Oh, my God.
plate spinning.
Yeah, plates. We can't do plate spinning.
Not in here. No,
Glass,
no.
no glass.
And,
We could have done fire. If we done fire, we'll do fire next time.
Well, I'll bring it. Sure.
Oh, my
Why
God.
not?
Yeah.
What could possibly go wrong?
Well, it's funny you say that because right before the show, the live show, the fire alarm was going off. It went off quickly. There was no emergency, just a test, I assume.
And clearly, the folks in the casino don't recall anything about like the MGM fire. That happened in 1980.
a long time
Fire
ago.
alarm goes off here. Nobody moved.
Nobody moved.
Yeah, nobody even bought. Oh, they're like,
People got bets. The casino wizard. By the way, you know who did move? The hot dog line. Because you know why they have to wait a while?
Sure.
It was 10 deep, by the way, when the alarm was going off, and everyone would have went, oh, I'm waiting for my hot dog. I'll get in and walk out, but I'm not moving.
Yeah, and it's just fire alarm. Where's the harm? What
Door's
can
right
happen?
there. We're
Yeah,
good.
it's fine. This place
It was
has
a false alarm.
sprinklers. Yeah.
Exactly.
If it were an emergency, there'd be sprinklers
Yes.
going off or something. But no, I've done a little bit of everything. I've done a fair amount of television and movie work, written books. Did warm-up comedy for shows. I'm
Oh,
sure
my
you're
goodness.
very
Yes,
familiar
that's
with
what
that.
I did. Yeah, I did Millionaire, which we'll talk with Chris Harrison tomorrow about. But yeah, that's always fun.
Nothing but fun throwing out T-shirts to
Yep.
bored people.
And by
Yeah.
the way, people will kill for T-shirts.
Oh,
People-
yeah.
It doesn't matter what the T-shirt says. If you have a free T-shirt, it doesn't matter if it's a XXX shirt that they'll never wear. They always just say, oh, I can sleep in this. If it's too big.
Sure.
People love it.
Yeah, well, and in this town especially, people will take anything that's not nailed down. It doesn't matter. That's why none of the ashtrays say South Point anymore. It's like they just take them all. When the place opened, there you go. And then people took them to put them in their ashtray collections. And other things, I was, for 7 years, I was the announcer for the touring version of the Price is Right game show called The Price is Right Live.
Oh my God! I actually hosted the Family Feud version
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
at a
You
casino
probably-
in Kansas. I just did it for one weekend, and the normal guy, I think it was Matt Gavin. Anyways, a friend of mine.
Yeah, I know, Matt.
Do you know Matt Gavin?
I do know
Okay,
Matt,
yeah,
yeah.
Matt. So I gave away a car. Someone won a car.
Yeah.
And he was so pissed. He's like, I've never given away a car. He goes, you do one weekend and give away a car. And I'm like, hey, it's the luck of the.
I'm not going to say they hope not to give away cars, but it does come out of the show's budget.
Yeah, it
So
does.
if you are on a game show, try your best to suck.
Yeah.
Do as much as you can. Help out the crew there. But can we just go back just a little bit?
Yeah.
I was watching the AI generated
Yeah,
trophies.
that's amazing, right?
First off, I have to ask 2 questions. One, why was the guy holding Linguini also wearing Devo's hat?
He was.
That was a little
because-
odd.
Well,
I
I think because we feel like we want to make Whip It the song. For
Excellent,
This, so
with the spaghetti.
Whip
Okay.
It will be playing, and they do have those red plastic hats, which
Sure.
were
And then
very
the other
popular in
thing,
the 80s.
why are people so worried about AI taking their jobs? Because if that's what they did to generate comedy, we're safe, man. There is absolutely
Oh, my
they
God.
shouldn't have gone on strike at all.
I
That'd be
actually
fine.
sent the ideas to Ryan last night. I'm like, look, I have this idea for made-up trophies for these future rivalries. And I said, I don't know. By the way, Ryan's considerably younger than me. I don't know how to use this Chat AI or Chat Jeep, whatever the hell it is.
Yeah.
And I'm like, can you do anything with this? Because I was like, just get a picture of a lumberjack and then like superimpose a bowl of. And I
Having
come
him
down and he
eating-
shows me these
eat
before the show. And I'm
linguine.
like, you're a genius,
Yeah,
Ryan.
AI is basically it's a fever dream on acid come true because you can put in anything you want and it comes right back out.
Does
So-
it say how many people have ever put in lumberjack linguine? I got to think for number one.
No,
Surfing
I don't
Badger
think so.
And the overcaffeinated Well, a Badger.
Well, now what you got to do is turn it into an NFT, and then you could fund this show for literally 4 or 5 more days at least.
This
Five
is our
more
cash
days.
cow right here, buddy. Yeah. All right.
40 cents an NFT.
All right. Well, there you go.
There we go.
we can do
40
that.
cents.
Yeah.
So listen, now we're here at the sports book.
Yes.
It's going to be very busy. We have a baseball game with 2 baseball games, an afternoon game, which is going to get busy in here, and of course Monday Night Football. Now, you're not necessarily the biggest sports gambler. How many bets have you placed in your life?
I've made a grand total of 1 sports bet.
One
in my
bet,
entire-
ladies and
That does
gentlemen.
not count the times when I used to vacation here and people, hey, can you put $20 down on the Bears to win?
People do that all the
all
time.
the time,
Do you
yeah.
place the bet or do you keep the money and just figure you'll pay out?
I am one of the few people who understands Vegas perfectly. I tell people when they give you money to go gamble with, because hey, go put $20 on a slot machine.
Right.
I always ask them, to what end?
Yeah, right.
Do you want me to win? And if so, do I pocket the money
What's
and
my
take it home?
percentage? Yeah.
Do you want me to play the $20? Because if I, it really is an honor system when you're handing people money to go gamble for
Yeah.
you. If you give me $5 and I turn it into $50,000, I'm not talking to you
Yeah.
ever again.
You just
Why?
give them the 5 back and
Yeah,
go,
oh,
I forgot.
Didn't
Yeah.
work.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
sorry, man.
All right, so you placed 1 bet. What was your bet?
I did. A few seasons ago, college football, when I think it was the Oregon Ducks, and all the lines were ridiculous. Like they were scoring stupid numbers of
Oregon's
points.
usually a prolific offense,
and
yes.
there was one of those you just couldn't miss. Take this bet. The spread was something ridiculous.
Okay.
Like they needed to score. The opposing team needed to score something like 64 points.
Okay.
In order to even, so I bet.
You can tell he's only placed
took the
1
bet.
bet, ladies and
Yes.
gentlemen.
Oh, yeah. I have no idea.
He's like, they just score 1 billion points.
Just-
but anyway,
just- I mean,
so the over-under was probably around
Well,
64.
it was insane. I put my money on. I put like $50 down on Oregon. I was
Okay.
like, everyone said, "Oh no, that's smart money." There's no way. Well, of course,
What was
there was like 1 point was the difference, and it was not in my favor. So I was
So
like,
you
"Well, there
lost.
you go. There's."
So you're 0-1 in sports
I'm
betting.
0-1. And the only other time I almost bet
Okay.
was the year of the infamous Bartman Ball incident.
Oh, in Chicago, the
Yes,
Cubs.
because
sure.
I'm originally from Chicago,
Oh.
and I came out here on vacation, and the Cubs were in the playoffs, and we got in the cab on the way there. And this was back when I fully admit I am no longer a big fan of any major league level sports. I'm
Okay.
very big on minor leagues and independents
Oh,
and
cool.
things
That's
like
why
that.
you work with the Aviators. Perfect.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's honest sports as
Yeah.
far as I look at it. It's pure to a degree. And I was watching. This was back when I was still insane. I could have told you the name of every single player. I could have told you what they had for breakfast that week, every single day.
That's good information for gamblers, by the way.
Sure, a lot of
Wait,
people-
He had scrambled eggs. That's money.
That's right. He had whipped cream on those pancakes, and he's lactose intolerant.
Right,
Oh my
take-
God!
Don't bet. Take the under.
Oh, take the under. And so, first off, I was very realistic. I was like, all of the significant people in my life have died waiting to see a Cubs World Series.
Oh yeah.
Like,
In Chicago, it's legendary. Yeah.
yeah, I back when I used to have a column for an online newspaper, I had an entire series about the curse of the Cubs, and
Sure.
how really, the least there are many bad things you can do as a parent, and I still believe in the top 3 worst, most irresponsible things you could do, it would be raising your child to be a fan of sports in Chicago.
No, wait a
Hey,
second.
thanks,
Ryan.
Dad.
It's just-
Ryan, those are your teams.
Yeah.
Yeah,
My dad
absolutely.
raised me that way.
Great. The Cubs finally won. Good for you. Everyone has that one every 108 year.
Right. Exactly.
Little bit of luck. So, but anyway, so on the cab ride to the airport, they're like, "Hey, looking great. It's going to be fantastic." All
They were
this
playing the
stuff. Yeah.
Marlins, right? The
Yeah.
Barman game.
By the time we landed, of course, we found out we were going to the playoffs, and then the Bartman incident happened. While I'm in Vegas,
Yeah.
okay, I'm at. It's no longer there. Now it's the Heart Attack Grill, but it used to be called Jilly's. And I was there with my mother-in-law, my wife at the time. We were having martinis and all sorts of good fun. And the waitress was so sweet because there was 500,000 televisions. All of them had the Cubs on.
Right,
There's
of
a
course.
chance you could see them. They're
Go
going
to
to
the
go
World
to the World
Series.
Series.
Yeah,
This is
sure.
it. And everyone knows, don't talk to me during this because I'm waiting for something to happen.
Okay.
And oh no, it
Something
can't be good.
bad.
Something. Then
Curse
the
of the
Bartman
Billy
incident
Goat, right.
happened, and everyone in the whole place is now quiet because they realize the only person who gave a damn about this game is now very upset.
Yeah.
And the waitress walked by, sets a martini down, slides it over, just goes, "It's on the house," and ran away. So we get to the next
Was it
day.
glass? And it's glass.
It was
We shouldn't have
glass.
glassware. Yeah.
And it was beautiful, and it was a double, and it was gin, and it was Perfect. And so, the next game, this was the one, their do or die game.
Oh,
okay.
Yep.
We're going to see Tom Jones. That's how you know it's a Vegas
The
story,
king,
because we
come
went to
on.
see Tom Jones.
Tom Jones is amazing.
When we went in, the Cubs were, if I remember correctly, behind. When we came back, I was hoping the game would be over. This was the game I almost bet on, because the Cubs were still stupidly favored to win. And
it was a home game. It was at Wrigley. So
right.
Yeah.
It's one of those things. And I did not have a lot of money, even in my bank account. I mean, what I was doing in Vegas, I don't know. I saved for a vacation. I had literally $1,000 to my name.
All right.
And I was ready to take that $1,000
Put it
and
on the Cubbies.
No.
Oh,
I was going to put it on
the Marlins.
The Marlins.
Oh,
yes.
okay.
and my friend, why would you do that? I said, well,
because I know.
if I put this money on the Marlins and it's the last of my money in the world, the Cubs will win.
So it's a win-win, right?
Right.
Okay,
that
you'll
way
win
I
money.
will help the Cubs. And I ended up not doing it. And I got to see the final out of the game, and I was like, wow, I was in such a good mood coming out of the Tom Jones. And then, we suck forever.
Oh my
and it wasn't soon after that. I gave up Major League Baseball for a long time.
Yeah, I know. I know a lot of Cubs fans that did
Yeah.
that. Yeah, that was the heartbreaking loss.
Yeah.
And by the way, Tom Jones, who does he still perform in Vegas ever? Does he ever come here or no?
He once in a while. He used to every time.
Yeah, exactly.
All the
He was
time.
a
But,
staple.
yeah.
There's
He's like
a
80, so I cut him some slack.
But he still kills it. He's what? He's a judge on The Voice.
Yeah.
Over in Europe. And on a commercial break, there's a video of him busting into like It's Not Unusual or Delilah or something, and he kills it. But the best thing about Tom Jones right now, and you can look at it on YouTube after you hit the subscribe button for our show right here, South Point Studios.
Call to action, like and subscribe. Comment down below.
That's right. There's a video someone put like it's Disturbed. It's Tom Jones dancing. This guy could dance like nobody else in like the late 60s, early 70s. And they put like a heavy metal rock song to his dance, and it fits perfectly.
He's one of those. He's amazing to watch. I've seen him 6 or 7 times.
Can still sing.
He's God as far as I'm concerned. He is amazing. If you have the wherewithal to see Tom Jones, go see Tom Jones. And if you
he's
don't,
about to go on tour in the UK.
Oh, he's just touring in the UK.
Yeah.
In December.
And he's a funny guy. He tells funny stories about Elvis. I mean, he's remarkable.
One time I saw him here at the MGM, and he was singing "What's New, Pussycat," which of course
staple.
There's women still throw the underwear on stage for him.
That's his thing.
And like the things that have always confused me, underwear comes flying onto stage when he sings Delilah.
Yeah.
And I'm always like, it's about a guy killing his wife, right? I mean, you realize this is not
It's to sop up the blood. They're helping out. They're his fans. They're like, use these.
My thought is that they're probably going, well, he's single now, so maybe he should do this. But he was doing What's New, Pussycat. You could tell it's a song that he gives less than a care about at this point in his life.
Times, right.
And somebody brought up this beautiful teddy bear with a bouquet made out of panties. Okay, which was fabulous.
Which, by the way, AI graphic that right now.
Yes,
teddy bear made out of panties.
Teddy bear made out of panties.
By the end of the show, Ryan, I want to see a teddy bear made out of panties.
There's probably a company that makes them at this point.
You might be able to just Google that, actually, but go ahead.
Yeah, see what we can find. I want to see this by the end of the show.
By the end of the show, Ryan, damn it.
And there was a card, okay? And so he was like, oh, this is lovely. And so he's reading the card. He takes the microphone, shoves it under his arm. He's reading the card. What's new, Pussycat? Whoa. What's new? Oh, this is so sweet. Then he pulls out one of the pairs of panties out of the bouquet, and it's this gigantic pair. Like, the bouquet
panties.
practically was just one set of panties.
Oh my God!
And he pulls this out. The crowd is now. He can't sing "What's New, Pussycat" anymore because he can't stop laughing.
Right.
And he finishes his whole set by going, "I think I knew her," and threw that. That was the end of that. And he's just amazing.
Not the first time he's done that line.
No, I'm sure.
Wait, what? You didn't already do this?
Underwear is not allowed on AI.
Damn it!
What? All right.
Really?
Can we come up with another name? Do they know the slang?
I've tried panties. I've tried underwear. Doesn't work.
That's the really old-fashioned term for them.
Whitey
What?
tighties. Can we try that?
Boxers?
Let's see what we can do.
Boxers. Maybe boxers. Which really?
You want a bouquet of
How about
boxers?
thongs? Can you do thongs?
They'll probably put flip.
I can't do thongs.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Or a picture of Cisco.
We're
doing
of the
thong,
generation
thong,
where
thong.
we still know that thongs are actually
Yeah,
footwear.
they were flip-flops,
Yeah,
yeah.
I remember when thongs turned into different things, and I was like, well, this is an improvement. This is a
Thank
capital
God,
improvement.
And thank God it did.
This-
All right, we'll get Ryan working on that. Now,
Can't wait to see this.
we can't wait. Now, Michael Jordan, we had Denny Nagel on last week. We were talking about Denny and I when we were both in the Bahamas and we saw Michael Jordan, who there's an aura around Michael Jordan, right? Denny will be on Friday to talk baseball playoffs, by the way. But you have a Michael Jordan story.
I do. if you ever purchase a book called Andy Martello's Stupid Stories About Famous People, you can get this book available
Google
on
that,
Amazon.
made a chat AI out of the book. No,
That's right, yeah.
The book actually exists. All
Yeah.
right.
So I wrote a book called Stupid Stories About Famous People.
Love
and it
it.
was basically all the embarrassing things that I did or said while working with somebody infinitely more important and famous than myself. And
Okay.
Michael Jordan made that list.
Is this in Chicago? Because I know you said you lived in
Yeah,
Chicago.
many of the stories happened in Chicago. And
Okay, great
it's
town.
funny, the book finishes with a story that happened in Vegas, and I had only just recently moved to Vegas.
Okay,
so
nice.
It was, I bookended my own story.
Yes, I was going to say. Very
Yeah,
nice.
it's like, you'd swear I've done this before. I'm like, this guy's great. So I used to make, aside from doing the comedy and things as myself, I
Right.
made a small, well, actually a pretty good living for a while, being a Blues Brothers impersonator.
Come on.
Yeah.
Jake or Elwood?
Oh, clearly you don't.
Oh, you don't. No. You
No,
were-
I was the Jake.
you were
Yes,
the Jake.
I was the
Jake
Jake.
is Belushi. Elwood was Aykroyd. One of my favorite movies of all time.
And all, everything from corporate appearances to, just posing for pictures, sometimes being on stage singing, all that stuff with my
Outstanding.
Elwood
You
partner.
would sing live vocals.
I would, yes.
You could do like Everybody Needs Somebody. And
Absolutely,
Soul Man.
sure.
Oh,
Go
man.
ahead, put it on right now. Let's
Bow,
test that
bow.
YouTube music license.
Coming to you. All right,
So
anyway.
I had a booking with my partner, and it was, of all things, it was a, of all the things, you've probably done this. There's conventions and gatherings for everything.
Yes.
I was not expecting to be performing Blues Brothers songs for a large gathering, a nationwide gathering
Of?
hemophiliac children. Because it's a serious. I'm not making fun
Oh, my
of
God.
the.
No, not at all.
Yeah, it's a very serious thing.
blood thing,
And there's,
right.
it was medical professionals were
Oh,
there,
my
and
God.
people would bring their kids, and they'd do seminars, and they'd learn new ways of caring for wounds, and
Right.
it was a very simple, solemn thing. But
Okay.
that was the gig. I would like to say it was at the Sheraton, but it wasn't. I don't remember the hotel.
All right.
I used to drink a lot.
Okay.
So we are going to the gig, dressed in Blues Brothers gear, park our car, making our way to the hotel.
Well, you were doing method acting for Belushi. You were
Right,
drinking,
exactly.
Right? Okay,
Lots
I
of
get it.
heroin and cocaine.
Right, sure,
Oh,
okay.
those good times. Good times. Stay in school. So we're getting to the hotel
Okay.
and we're walking from where we parked, and we realize we cannot get to the hotel. Something is wrong. There's 500,000 cameras and people and reporters and buses and trucks with all the satellite trucks. I'm like, what on earth is going on?
Okay.
It just so happened that our gig was on the very day that Michael Jordan was returning to Chicago to play against
come
the
back.
Bulls. He was a Washington Wizard.
Right.
Okay?
Oh, okay. All right.
So this was his first time
playing
it-
against his team.
Sure.
Right. Okay.
And for people who don't, there is a percentage of people who hear the name Michael Jordan and they don't think about him.
They forget
the
the
way we-
Wizards. Yeah.
they
I mean,
don't
it was forgettable
realize it.
moments, but he had a
There
couple
was-
moments with the Wizards.
There was
but-
nobody more famous on the planet at
No.
that time.
Yeah.
And I mean, it was international reporters were there. Everything was there. And the team bus was pulling up, and Doug Collins and Michael Jordan are the first to walk off, and there's a police line, and we can't get into the and like I said, so many reporters. And my partner was like, well, what are we going to do? I said, we're going to walk in. We're the Blues Brothers.
The Blues Brothers. You're on a mission from God.
Right. They will assume we're supposed to be here. Just follow my lead.
Right.
So we go walking right on up. I grab the police line and I walk underneath. A police officer, one of Chicago's fine. Hey, you can't come here. Come in here. You can't come in here. And one of the main cops in charge goes, Jake and Elwood, let him in for God's sake. And so we go walking in. Now, there's several security checkpoints we have to go through.
You've already passed one, though. The cops,
Right.
I would think, is maybe the hardest
and
one,
Bear,
but maybe not.
Yeah, well, there's still police, and
Okay.
then armed guards and all this
It's like a
nonsense.
video game. You've passed level 1.
And we're effectively following Doug Collins, Michael Jordan, and whoever their handler is.
Sure,
all
right.
So we get to the security thing. I reach in my pocket and I pull out a crushed pack of cigarettes, and I show him that as my ID. Elwood reaches into his bag, pulls out a burnt piece of toast, and they go,
Which is what he ate, dry
Right.
white toast.
and the guy just goes, come right on in. Now, we're laughing our fool heads off going, I told you this would work. Now, they have saved an elevator for Doug Collins and Michael Jordan.
They get their own elevator.
First elevator, of
Sure.
course. And whoever their handler was, okay, guys, come on. He doesn't know we're not supposed to be there either.
No.
He's convinced we're like the welcoming committee.
Right.
all right?
It's welcoming back to Chicago. Who are the ambassadors of Chicago that
Sure.
you want?
So
Jake and Elwood.
we're just looking at each other. Better Get on the damn elevator. So we get on the elevator. Doors close. There's a guy in the middle, the handler.
The handler.
Michael Jordan is directly across from me.
Doug
Collins, and then me and Elwood standing next to each other. Doors close, and it's like a scene in the movie. It's playing really dumb elevator music. No one is saying a word. Like we can't think. What are you supposed to say?
It should be "Girl from Ipanema," which is the music that was on the elevator in Blues Brothers when they're going up
should
to
have
pay
been.
the fine, because that's what Landis always. "Girl from Ipanema." All right, I love it.
And the elevator's going up as slowly as humanly possible, and I'm like, somebody's got to say something. So I lean over forward to Michael Jordan, and I said, "Must be pretty intimidating being on the elevator with somebody so important." and he leads in, and he goes, "I'll never get used to that." And that broke the ice, and now we're having a nice. What are you guys doing? And I said, "Oh, we're gonna go perform for a bunch of hemophiliac children. You want to come say hi and make their whole day?"
Yeah, right. Oh my God, that is tremendous. You had a moment with Jordan.
I did. Yeah, I can't really say I met him. I can say I had a moment.
No, you met him. You're in an elevator with someone. That's meeting them.
Well, and
that's a very confined space.
Through no fault of our own, dumbest coincidence in the world, because he was staying on one of the floors. He said, "Hey, what floor is this at? If I can make it, I'll come by." And I was like,
God.
"Oh, wouldn't this be great if we deliver Michael Jordan to these
the Blues
sick
Brothers
children?"
bringing MJ.
And he said, "Well, what floor is it?" And I looked at the contract. I go, "It's 23."
Oh, come
and
on.
it really was.
Jersey,
it was absolutely was. And he goes, "Oh, okay, come on." I said, "No." I showed him the contract. He goes, "All right, I'll see if I can make it." He didn't. He couldn't.
didn't.
He was.
But the
very
thought was
important.
there.
Yeah. But yeah, so that was it. I literally got to meet Michael Jordan by pretending I belonged.
That's unbelievable.
Yeah.
And by the way, Michael Jordan does Hanes underwear commercials. Can we do Hanes underwear bouquet of the flowers
Hanes
for
underwear
Tom
bouquet.
Jones? Tom Jones, Michael Jordan.
I do have a bouquet.
All right, let's see a bouquet. Let's see the bouquet.
Throw this up here. Let's see what we got.
All right, what is that made out of?
Bras.
There
Bras.
you
All right,
go. That'll
Thank
do.
you, AI, whatever.
You know,
did.
really, that's the gift that keeps on giving, because somebody had to take off those bras to make that work. It never ends.
That's amazing. Well, again, Ryan, you opened, you know what you did here with Pandora's Box now. You've now let me know that any graphic I can dream, you can make with AI.
Oh, no.
And it's technically copyrighted immediately because it's on your channel.
Oh, my God. We own
Look
it.
at that. You
this
own
is the
this.
NFT money we want.
That's right.
I'm telling you.
I'm an idea. You're going to have me back a lot, being like, this guy just makes his money. Yeah.
You were super entertaining. We're going to have you back. You've written books. Where can we get them on Amazon?
Yeah, absolutely. You can find them on Amazon.com. My name is Andy Martello, the one that got me the Best of Las Vegas award. That is also folks in Vegas will like. It's called King of Casinos.
And what is that about, quickly?
It's a biography of a casino owner and the history of his casino out in Searchlight, Nevada, back in the 40s, 50s, and 60s. A guy named Willie Martello, no relation. It's a spoiler. It's in the book. I know, no relation.
Crazy.
Yeah, that's what got me into it in the first place. It was a brothel. It was a casino. It was ahead of its time in every single way. And had he been that much luckier, everyone in the world would know his name and not Steve Wynn's, not Howard Hughes, and things like that. It's a really fascinating story. You find out that Francis Coppola's first movie was shot at the El Rey Club.
Come on.
You find out that this is where celebrities used to go and hang out.
Sounds like an informative book.
Yeah, it's fun. It was a ton of fun. And since I am a writer who absolutely hates to read, so I went out of my way to make sure it's a book that is entertaining.
It sounds entertaining.
Like I didn't want it to be a history book where, on this day and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
I wanted it to read more like I just got done hearing somebody at the bar here at the South Point telling stories about when it was great when the McGuire sisters were still alive or whatever. And I'd be like, oh, hey, I got a story.
I preferred the Andrews sisters.
Yeah, they were good. I'm a DeCastro sisters kind of guy.
Well, they were very competitive. It was like Brittany and Christina.
Well, I like the DeCastro sisters because they were clearly Cuban, but everyone thought they were Italian. So it worked out just fine.
It ends in a vowel, just like your name. Andy Martello, thank you for being here. The shirt's amazing. It's a bar. Where?
For those curious, well, actually, I should make it a thing to see how many people are watching.
Yeah.
If you know who this logo is, by all means, comment. And if you're right, I'll send you a free book.
All right.
Or I could just tell you right now.
Yeah, tell us now. Or if someone live
we're
comments.
anticipating nobody watching because I'm on.
You're here.
Yeah,
Everyone loves you.
We got live viewers.
This is actually, I had to make this shirt. This is from a tiny little bar in Tonopah, Wisconsin. Tonopah, Nevada.
It sounds like a Wisconsin name.
It sounds like a Wisconsin name. Very, very Native American.
exactly.
And beer's involved, so it must be Wisconsin. It's from a place called the Bug Bar. It's a tiny little dirt bar that overlooks the mountains. It's really nice, very sweet, with this stupid
Drunken
logo.
ladybug.
I had to take a picture of it and turn it into a T-shirt to make every hipster in the world hate themselves.
I love it.
Because they don't have this.
All right. He's bet one sport bet in his life. He had a Michael Jordan thing. He's been John Belushi. He's also been on this show. Andy Martello, thank you for being here, Andy.
My
Very
pleasure.
funny stuff.
Hey, my pleasure. And when you see Alex tomorrow, tell her she should be working harder.
All right.
I work with Alex every day at the Aviator, so I
she'll
know
be in
she
here
should
tomorrow.
be working harder, much harder.
She's the best. And speaking of the best, coming up after this quick commercial break, Chris Andrews will be here to talk. Nailed it or failed it on the NFL. Sportsbook had a good weekend, and we're going to do some college power rankings. So football right after this. See you in 2 minutes. Andy.
We have 11 amazing restaurants featuring a wide variety for every price range and appetite. South Point's Garden Buffet has something for everyone at unbeatable prices. Or, if hunger strikes in the middle of the night, join us at Coronado Cafe. The American menu offers breakfast, lunch, or dinner 24 hours a day, plus a Chinese kitchen for authentic Chinese dishes from 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. From steak and eggs to wonton soup, it's fast and friendly service 24/7. When you need a quick pick-me-up, you can find it at our state-of-the-art Starbucks just inside the main South Point entrance. Order ahead with the Starbucks app for easy mobile order pickups. Or enjoy your favorites in the relaxing dining area anytime, day or night. If you love Mexican food, Baja Miguel's has all of your south of the border favorites. There are dozens of classics to choose from, like fajitas, ceviche, chimichangas, tacos, and more. And for spirit lovers, Baja's colorful non-smoking tequila bar is right outside. Or maybe you're in the mood for seafood. Big Sur Oyster Bar has fresh seafood prepared right before your eyes. Savor freshly shucked oysters, crab legs jambalaya, shrimp and lobster. Beers on tap and a selection of fine wines are perfect to pair with your seafood favorite. Whether lunch or dinner, you'll love this fun atmosphere, located just off the casino floor. Ready to shake things up? Step back in time and treat yourself to one of the oldest restaurant chains in the country. Steak and Shake, famous for original mouth-watering steak burgers and hand-dipped milkshakes in a variety of flavors. For some old-fashioned fun, try Steak and Shake.
So, Ryan, anything I want, you can make. That's good to know. Welcome back to Punchlines. I'm Frank Nicotero. We did have a live comment about the shirt. Ted Fisher thought it was the Raid bug. Again, we're dating ourselves here. That was the old Raid bug spray commercial where after it got sprayed, the bug looked, well, it was dying. So there you go. That wasn't a dying bug on his shirt. It was a drunk bug. That's a good name for a bar, the drunk bug. We are always happy to see this gentleman who I met 13 years ago and is the reason I'm here right now and the reason Punchlines is happening. It's the sportsbook director here at South Point. It's Chris Andrews. Chris, what's happening?
Oh, man, great day of football yesterday.
Yeah, he's beaming today, isn't he? It's the under.
There's no hiding it. I mean, every bookmaker in the world should be smiling today.
There you go. And we'll get to pro football in a second. I noticed you're wearing a Penn State shirt. You got the Happy Valley shirt.
Yep.
I know about 1,000 people who went to Penn State. It was like when I graduated in Pittsburgh, you went to Pitt, Penn State, a lot of Ohio State people, mostly Penn State.
Yeah, my daughter went to Penn State.
Yeah.
I couldn't get in.
Right.
But my daughter went to Penn State. Quick story. When they played Ohio State, across the street from us used to be the Boulevard restaurant bar. It was an Ohio bar.
Okay.
So my wife and I were watching. I was working right up till kickoff. I said, "Come on, meet me down at the Boulevard. At least we know it'll be on. I know we're going to be the only Penn State people in there."
Right.
Anyway, I wish I can remember.
This is here in Vegas.
Here in Las Vegas.
Okay.
Right across the street from the South Point. It's the Flowing Tide now. Anyway,
Okay.
we go in. We're the only two Penn State people. But, you know me a little bit, Frank. I mean, I'm not loud, obnoxious.
Right.
My wife, same way. Watching the game. It's the game where they block the kick,
Oh, yeah.
run it back for a
God.
touchdown, and beat Ohio State. Anyway, we're happy. But we're not screaming. But we're, happy visibly. On the way out, I swear to God, this 80-year-old guy wants to fight me.
Ohio State Buckeye fan.
Yeah, he wants. I said, buddy, it's a football game for God's sake. I said, you guys have been kicking our ass for years. We won one game in a row. Just take it easy. So I had to whip him a little bit.
Oh, whoa, hello. And by the way, that man's name was Woody Hayes.
Yeah.
It's the old Ohio State coach who actually punched a player on the field, Ryan. You're
Charlie
probably-
Bauman.
There you go. He was the head coach for Ohio State. This guy picked off a ball. What team was it? I don't
Clemson.
remember. Clemson. Guy picks it off, and Woody Hayes, he was up there in age at the time.
Yeah.
So the guy runs by the Woody Hayes takes him and punches him. was the last game Woody Hayes ever coached,
Yeah.
ladies and gentlemen. But
Yeah.
after the show, after you click subscribe on the channel, make sure you come back to South Point Studios for this show and Sports by the Book. Google Woody Hayes punches a player. You'll be happy you
Yeah.
did.
Before you even breathe, click subscribe.
Click subscribe. That's the first thing you have to just do it right now. We'll give you 3. Subscribe. How long did that take? Was that painful? No. Thank you for doing that and sharing it with your friends. So, Chris, I understand. Do you want to start with nailed it or failed it, or do you want to go into college football first?
I want to briefly, because everything's so close in college football.
Yeah.
We had a guy from the old network, still
Okay.
a good friend of mine,
What'd
Matt
you say?
Humans.
Okay.
He was talking to me. He said, I'm looking for somebody to beat Georgia coming into this year. I said, Matt, I think you're reaching for the stars here. I mean, I don't
Okay.
think there's anybody out there. But now here we are, not too many weeks left in the
Yeah.
season. And I got Georgia way down my list. They
Yeah?
have not been that good. So here's my top 10. These are power ratings.
These are your power rankings.
Not if I was voting in the AP poll.
Right, or the-
We don't.
the playoff and all
We're
that.
bookmakers. We make numbers. We don't make those kind of things.
Exactly.
Okay, here's what I got. Number 1, Michigan.
Michigan. Wow, yeah.
Number 2, Washington.
Yeah, UW looking good.
And I hate to say this.
I know.
Number 3,
What?
Ohio State.
Ohio State. There's that, I'll tell you what.
That hurts.
The guy wants to fight you again. He just left
Yeah.
commented. The old 80-year-old guy, he's still around. He's like, they should have been number 1 or 2.
Yeah, he's 88 now,
He's
but
88.
I might be able to handle him this time. Number 4, Oregon.
Yeah, the Ducks still good. I mean, that was such a great game. I mean, you got
That was one of the best games.
one of the best games of all time.
I love that game.
Oh my God. And the
By the way,
overhead.
that's one of the failures. We got nailed
Right,
bad
but
on
you
that
made
game.
up for it on Sunday, which we'll get to.
We
but-
did okay. yeah.
Okay.
Florida State, number 5.
Ohio State.
Georgia, all the way down to number 6.
I mean, they've had some
They've covered once all year.
Yeah, they've had it's been tight, and now Brock Bowers is out.
Yeah.
So that had to drop them down a little bit too.
Definitely.
Their All-American tight ends hurt.
Yeah,
Oh, by
big
the way,
player.
he's getting tightrope surgery. Does anyone know? They said it's a high ankle sprain, and it said he's getting tightrope surgery. I forgot to Google it. Ryan, can you find out what tightrope surgery is,
I
please?
think that Walenda guy had
The
it. The time when,
Walendas, the family of the
The-
Walendas
yeah.
that would walk. Oh my God! All right, so
okay.
all right,
Number 6, Georgia. Number
Georgia.
7, Texas.
Texas
And again,
still up
pains me to say it. Number 8, all the way down to number 8, Penn
there.
State.
Penn State.
Number 9, Oklahoma. And number 10, Notre Dame. And I know they got a couple losses, but that was a nailed it game for us. I love Notre Dame going into that game. A lot of it was I don't think USC is all that good. Their
Well, we
defense
knew
is
their
horrible.
defense. Yeah, right.
But they intercepted
3 times. I think Caleb Williams had 3 in the first half.
interceptions first half, right? But I think Notre Dame is really good, and they're in my top 10, but they won't be in the top 10 of
Right.
AP
But
or whatever.
when it comes to how much money people put on college teams, is Notre Dame in the? Do people just bet Notre Dame a lot out here?
Yeah, when they're winning.
Right, when
you
they're,
know.
right, because they're
Yeah.
so many people.
People, I had to testify when they were going to allow betting on Nevada and UNLV teams.
Oh, right.
I had to.
Really?
Are they going to bet them every week? I said, if they're winning, they'll bet
Yeah.
on them. If they're not winning, they will not bet on
See
them.
how
Trust
that
me.
works?
you know.
Yeah, exactly. People like winners.
Yeah.
Those
right
are
now,
great.
UNLV getting a lot of play because they're not bad this year.
And they beat Nevada, and they got
Yeah.
the Fremont Cannon.
Well, I spent many years in Reno, so I was still in Nevada. I'm still
Right.
a Nevada fan. That was tough.
That was a
they're
heck
not
of a
very
game,
good
too,
this-
yeah.
Not very good.
All right. So you want to move on to pros?
Nailed it and failed it.
Nailed it and failed it over the weekend. I want to point out the Steelers, I feel, failed it in a way because every AFC North team
Yeah,
won.
I know, Frank, but we didn't play. I mean, it's okay.
But again,
Take a
Matt
deep
Canada
breath.
didn't score any points for us this weekend. But yeah, the bye covered -3. Oh, wait. Oh, Ryan has something
So
before we go.
tightrope surgery.
Tightrope surgery is what?
So an injury to the syndesmosis,
Yes.
which is a group of ligaments that connects your fibula and your tibia.
Okay. I had never heard of that. Tightrope surgery. Sounds
This,
painful.
up until 3 minutes ago, I had never heard that in my life.
It was the headline. Yeah, he's getting tightrope surgery. Yeah, like it was something we're supposed to know what the hell that is.
Like I said, if it wasn't for the Walendas, I would have no guess
I
whatsoever.
remember watching a documentary on the Walendas.
Yeah.
Ryan, have you ever heard of the Walendas? They're world famous. They were tightrope walkers. There's a whole family.
Yeah.
Grandfather, kids, and tragically,
One of them,
that was the
down
grandfather.
bad,
I don't want you to use YouTube for that, but you
yeah,
can.
but it was bad.
It was
Yeah.
bad. All right. Anyway, back to let's talk pro football. Do you want to talk tonight? We got a big game tonight, right? Cowboys
I don't
and
have
Chargers.
that much action tonight,
Yeah?
and it's weird because you got the LA Chargers.
Right.
I'll probably say San Diego for the rest of the night.
I haven't yet. I have yet to say. I've called them the
Oh,
Vegas
I've said it
Raiders
many
every time.
times. Oh, yeah,
The
that's
Chargers
another
is
one.
a harder one for me, but I've said Las Vegas.
Well, especially
Raiders.
when you see LAC from the Clippers.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Who were the San Diego Clippers at one point.
Right.
Right, exactly.
But we don't have that much action. A little bit on the Chargers, not too much. We opened the game 2. We're down to 1.5.
Okay.
Again, a little play on the under,
Okay.
which that usually is good early because the late money is almost always on the over. But,
Right. That's the people who've had a few.
But I got to tell you, there's not much live going into tonight.
Yeah.
We cleaned the slate pretty good yesterday.
You had a good day. I know now a lot of people, like you said, like to bet overs.
Yeah.
Now, if I'm not mistaken, Sean and I were talking about this. Unders were like 11-2.
Something like that.
Yeah, the unders. Look at the grin on him. Can you see the smile on Chris's face? Yeah, it was. There was a lot. You had upsets. You had the Jets and Browns winning outright.
Yeah.
You had the Giants, who should have beat Buffalo last night.
They
Buffalo.
covered. No, that was okay.
Yeah, they covered. That's true. The Giants did cover. And just real quickly tonight, longest field goal over 47.5. That ball in SoFi you can kick farther. That's the one. That's a prop bet you can do here at South Point. If you don't want to bet on either the Dallas Cowboys or the Los Angeles Chargers, I'm going over 47.5 long field goal. These kickers nowadays routinely make 50 plus, 55 plus. I'm going to go that. That's my prop bet.
Do you know who the first kicker was in the Hall of Fame?
I believe is it Jan Stenerud?
It is Jan Stenerud.
I pulled it out. Jan Stenerud.
Go look him up.
Yeah.
Go look up his numbers.
Single
His
bar.
numbers.
Okay.
He couldn't make a Division I
Right.
team right now,
That was
and he
it.
was the first one in the Hall of Fame.
They say first and only, but then didn't Morton Anderson get in? I think Morton Anderson got in, who kicked for the Saints for years. And I think that I guess Vanderjack they've talked about.
No, he's not getting.
He's not getting in.
Yeah.
And then
He had
Adam
that one
Vinatieri.
miss.
No, Vinatieri. Adam
Hey, the Vinatieri deserves to go in.
Yeah, Vanderjack missed against that. That was the
Yeah,
Steeler game,
that
right?
was-
The fumble.
It's funny. My two favorite plays in Steeler history.
Yeah, the Bettis fumble that Ben chased him down.
The Bettis fumble that Ben made
Ben
the tackle.
chases him down.
And the other one, the missed field goal when Lambert threw down Cliff Harris.
Oh, yeah.
So missed field goal and a fumble. My
Yep.
two favorite plays in Steeler
Yeah,
history.
because he got in Jarella's face, right? And Lambert stuck up.
Exactly, yeah.
And pulled him down. By the way, the reason Ben chased that guy down, the Colts defensive back, the guy had been stabbed by his girlfriend or wife earlier in the week.
I remember that.
Yeah, in the
leg.
leg or something. So he wasn't at full speed. Because Ben, back then Ben was quick, but he's a big guy. He's not the biggest.
Yeah.
But he caught that guy who could have scored the game winning for the Colts. But the guy had been stabbed. So whoever that wife or girlfriend is, way to go. You helped the Steelers win a Super Bowl. But anyway, yeah, super. And by the way, here's do you want to talk kickers real quick? We got a minute for this. There's a kicker that won an MVP in the National Football League.
Mark Mosley.
Mark Mosley. Chris pulls it out. 1982 strike season.
Yeah.
For the Redskins, a kicker won MVP.
Straight on kicker.
Straight,
yeah.
and he had the single bar like Stenerud,
Yeah.
right? And he kicked straight on.
Okay, now I'm with a bunch of guys from back in Pittsburgh.
Okay.
And my old roommate, probably my best friend in the world, one of my best friends, certainly. He put this contest together years ago.
Okay.
It's called the Booth Lustig contest.
Okay.
Do you know who that is?
I do not know.
Now, like I said, it's
got
my
Jan
friend Terry.
Stenerud.
Terry, if you're out there listening, Terry is like the quirkiest guy you'd ever meet.
Okay.
He says, I can prove it. Booth Lustig was the worst kicker in the history of the NFL. And he
Okay.
kicked for the Steelers. This
Oh, you
is in
did?
the
Oh,
60s.
okay.
This is in the 60s,
Oh,
yeah.
the Steelers were
so
terrible.
we're old,
Yeah,
so
right.
and I remember Booth kicking
Booth.
for this.
That's the greatest
Booth
name ever.
Lustig. And that's the name of our contest. The Booth Lustig.
Okay, and what is the contest?
Oh, just, you rank the team, from 16 down to 1. And nobody bets like that. But, that's the way these contests are.
Lustig.
Booth Lustig, look him up.
Oh my God! Of
Yeah.
course I am. He was
Yeah.
the worst. He should never have been in the NFL.
I remember when he started it, and like I said, Terry's very quirky. He says, I can prove it. He's the worst, and he has some stats. I don't know who's the worst,
Yeah.
but he's in the conversation, I can tell you that.
I love it. Well, this all is me saying that I'm taking 47.5 for longest field goal. So pro games. You want to talk a little pro this weekend? There's
Sure.
a lot of good games. Steelers are back against the Rams, which is of course the first line I always look at, and you got it about 3.5 right now with the Rams.
We opened 3.5. We're down to 3.
Down to 3,
A
which
lot
is-
of injuries for the Rams. So
Right.
they came in and
Running back is an issue for them right now.
running back's an issue. But I hate to say it, Frank, because I kind of like the Rams. I think the Rams. You have to see how these injuries affect them. But I think that team was ready to explode. That was one of the nail-its yesterday. I stayed ahead of that with the Cardinals. We wound up needing the Rams in that game, which is not too often you need a 7-point favorite
Right.
to win and cover. But we did because I tried to stay ahead of that. I think the Rams are. I think we all forgot how good a coach McVay
Yeah,
was.
you really. Look, I agree, and living in LA and for his whole tenure out there as head coach, though. people do get on because he lost the Super Bowl where he only scored, 3.6 points?
3.
Yeah,
Three.
so
There's another story to that, too.
Right,
but
okay, all right,
yeah.
I'm right there. But then, of course, he won a Super Bowl. But, yeah, just because, they had an off year last year coming off the Super Bowl.
Well, yeah.
Hey, he's still a great coach, man.
I think he is, absolutely. And Stafford, I think, is healthy.
Yeah, he's a great quarterback.
Last year he was not healthy.
Right.
So I think the Rams were a little bit of a sleeper. It's funny, I'll put season win totals up, put the Rams up 6.5, which right away I thought was low, but wasn't that low because they kept betting me under.
Yeah, wow.
So I hope the Rams have a good year. It'd be good for us.
But I want the Steelers to win this weekend.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Of course we do. We're Pittsburgh guys. What other games are you looking at that are jumping out, or some lines that you see moving? What do we got here?
Run the schedule for me, Frank.
Yeah, sure. Well, this is an interesting one to me. I think this is there's 2 games of the week in my opinion. Detroit Lions at Baltimore. Right now the Ravens are -2.
I think we're not used to the Lions being this good.
They're 5-1 right
They're
now.
really good.
They're really good.
And the Ravens, I think, have some problems. I kind of like I like the Lions in this game.
Me too.
And they hadn't been this good since 1956.
Right.
I'm born in '56. So I don't quite remember it, but I do remember
Alex
Milt
Karras
Plum.
days? All right.
Yeah,
Alex
Milt
Karras.
Plum was their quarterback, and I do remember him at the end of his career. I think he played for the Rams.
Okay. Yeah, I just look at that line. I like Detroit too. Of course, I can never bet Baltimore. It's just in my blood. I can never bet the Ravens. But after watching them not be able to really confront, well, first of all, they had 7 drop passes against the Steelers in a game they should have won.
See, it's funny. My daughter, who's I can say her age, she's 38 now.
Okay.
So she hates the Ravens.
Okay.
Hates the Ravens. Okay, she's closer to your age than mine.
Yeah.
Guys my age, we hate the Cowboys and the Raiders.
Right.
That's who we. The Ravens. We hate the Ravens.
Yeah, we hate them.
But the other stuff's just in our DNA.
What about the Browns? Do you hate I always feel bad for the Browns almost in a way.
They're not worthy of my
Yes,
hatred.
they're not worthy of your hatred. The Cowboys and Raiders, yes, because
for
that's
sure,
the
yeah.
70s. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God. And then the game of the week and the schedule makers got very lucky on this.
Yeah.
Dolphins at Eagles. Eagles -2. I want to look at the over/under 52.5. So
Wow.
that's the Sunday night game. I mean, the NFL right now is like, well done, computer, probably an AI computer.
I'm not telling you the winner of this game because I think that's pretty much the right number.
Yeah,
but right
right,
now the
'cause that's-
Dolphins are playing great football, and the Eagles all of a sudden got exposed a little bit. They'd won it covered. I think almost one. They won every game. I think they failed to cover one game, but we kind of knew when we were watching them that they're not quite the same Eagles that they were last year. That Steichen left the team.
They lost either Hargrave,
lost
Steeler
2.
went to the Niners. Yeah. They
So I
lost
mean
coaches.
that kind of that hurt them beyond what we were looking at and expecting this year. But I think it's coming to fruition now. Still, they're going to be tough to beat at home. You got a Miami team going up there. I'm not telling you we're the winner, but that's a great game. And gun to my head, I'd probably take Miami just because I think. And Lane Johnson got hurt yesterday too.
Oh my goodness.
For the
that's
Eagles.
Yeah.
So they may have a problems, but boy, this Miami
humming.
team. This team's for and that
They got
McDaniel,
weapons.
the coach, he's for
Funniest
real.
head coach in the NFL too. He's
Yeah.
just so. I mean, you know why he's hugely popular too? Because he looks like us who watch football.
He looks like a geek.
He's a smart aleck. He's
yeah.
a self-proclaimed geek,
Yeah.
man. The guy's awesome. He's funny. Like they had him walking off at halftime, and then he ran, so the Steadicam guy had to run with him. It's like he has fun. He makes football fun. And the Dolphins, yes, they make football fun. Oh my
Yeah,
God.
well, when you got guys that are running,
Holy mackerel.
4.140s.
Every guy on the team is fast. So you talked about the nailed it. Did you have a failed it that you wanted to talk about yesterday or no?
We didn't have too many failed it's,
I-
Frank. I got to tell you.
There you go. That's.
We had a
good-
couple failed it's, but they were like this.
And then Thursday night, Amazon gets another kind of a dog. Jacksonville at New Orleans. I guess both teams they're having a decent year. Jacksonville getting better every week. I guess
We're not sure about Lawrence. He's
so that's
not
why there's no
100%.
line yet, yeah.
He's not 100%.
Yeah, because I don't even know who the backup is. Do you
I
have
don't.
anything to end the show, Ryan? Do you have any? Did you create any other cool AI things?
Nothing from AI, just the Bears are unbearable.
The Bears are unbearable. That's there you go, right there. Now remember, we're gonna have fun with AI again tomorrow. I think tomorrow we have Alex in the studio. We have Chris Harrison coming to us live on the phone or the video feed or whatever the hell you call it. And later this week we have some other great guests. Hopefully Josh Yohe here to talk some hockey. Denny Nagel coming back Friday. We're even hoping for some names I don't want to jinx. We're gonna have a live performance in here. I think from one of Vegas's great entertainers, magician, mentalist. Murray Sawchuk's going to be here this week. So it's going to be great. So listen, all you have to do is please subscribe. All right, share this. We love the live comments, you guys. I read them all. We thank you for them. But make sure you subscribe. Don't forget, coming up today, Sports by the Book with Jeff and Vinny. I'm actually coming on to jump on the show. Are you on Sports by the Book today?
I have a job.
He has a job.
Yeah.
He's got to run the sports book here at the South Point Casino, the greatest sports book in Las Vegas. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Thanks for the live comments. Subscribe. We will see you tomorrow with Alex and Chris Harrison. It's going to be a good show. I'm Frank Nicotero. Thanks for watching Punch Lines. We'll see you next time. Live at the South.